Good evening and welcome to the September 2nd, 2025 joint Brookings County and City of Brookings Planning Commission meeting. This meeting is being recorded, televised, and viewable on Swiftel Channel 19, ITC Channel 168, or the Brookings County YouTube channel. I now call this meeting to order. Approval of the joint Board of Adjustment meetings. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion second?
Second.
Second by Kyle Vanderwall. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Items to be added to the agenda by commission members or staff? Nothing?
Nothing.
Invitation for citizens to schedule time on the commission agenda for an item not listed? Seeing none. Disclosure of conflicts of interest, relationships to the applicant, or ex parte communication? Nothing? Good. Approval of agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the city side, second on the county side. You can decide that, Richard. We will now convene as the Joint Board of Adjustment. The Joint Board of Adjustment is a 5-member board which has the power to hear requests for variances, conditional uses, and appeals from non-ministerial decisions of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of 2/3 of the full board membership of the board, 4 votes, is necessary for approval of a variance or an appeal of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of a simple majority of those board members present and voting is necessary for approval of a conditional use permit. In accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, we require a motion to approve a request before the request can be debated. As a matter of policy, all motions are made in the positive. The board, under specific powers granted to it by the state, shall authorize variances from the zoning requirements where special conditions existing on the land will result in an unnecessary hardship for the applicant. Financial disadvantage to the property owner shall not constitute proof of an unnecessary hardship. Moving on, agenda item 2025 JJCU 001. Jessica Andranowitz has made an application 2025 JJCU 001 to the Brookings County Joint Board of Adjustment for a conditional use joint zoning ordinance for Brookings County and City of Brookings, Article 3, District Regulations, Chapter 3.04A, Agricultural Land District, Section 3.04.02, Conditional Use Permit Number 24, Stables. The property is described as Lot M-2 of Warrior Commercial Park Edition and Lot M-2 of Warrior Commercial Park 2nd Edition to include vacated portion of the street located in the southwest 1/4 of Section 18, Township 110, North Range 49W, Aurora Township, located at 1900 25th Avenue, Brookings, South Dakota 57006. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Kyle Vanderwall, second.
Second.
Second. County said it. Sorry, I don't remember the name. Wendell, there we go. Staff report. I'll get this all figured out someday.
Yes, 2025 JJCU 001, Jessica Andranowitz has applied for a conditional use permit for a horse stable located in the Brookings County, Brookings City joint jurisdictional area. Property is located at 1900 25th Avenue, Brookings, South Dakota, which is an 1/8 mile west of the I-29 exit on the Highway 14 bypass and north an 1/8 mile on 25th Avenue. The applicant would like to board a maximum of 50 horses, along with providing riding lessons and training on a limited basis and a potential to host clinics or schooling shows in the future. Her business plan is included as a separate attachment and includes the following. The facilities will be gated and locked on the maintenance and grounds plan, the manure plan, emergency plan, and emergency points of contact. The applicant has kept up the property, controlled the weeds, and replaced fences and added new fences for additional turnout areas since she has taken over the property. Vehicle and trailer parking on the lot is available for the boarders. The applicant was approved for a conditional use 2022 CU 014 on October 4th, 2022 for a maximum of 30 horses, and that was valid for 3 years and will expire on October 4th, 2025. She continues to manage and operates the facility as it has been run in the past and would like to continue the business into the future with a maximum of 50 horses. This is a formal, just a brief history. I'll just kind of highlight some of that. It's a former Neil Sebring property, and the facility was approved for a horse stable back in 1997 with a conditional use and special exception at that time. And since that time, it's always been a horse arena up until now, up until it continued to this time from 2003, 2016, 18, and 19 and 22 with different operators operating the facility. And the city of the Brookings has reviewed the staff report and has no objections to the request. Public notices are published in the Volga Tribune on August 21st and 28th, 2025. Letters were sent to the adjoining landowners, the Aurora Township Chairman and Clerk, and the Brookings Community Development Office. Here is the applicant's conditional use application. This is her site plan. This is 25th Avenue, driveway coming in. These are the additional pastures or fencing she has installed to have more lots for the pasture horses out there compared to what it was when she started. These extra, a little more useful for her and for the boarders of their horse. Parking lot over here where the trailers are parked. This is the barn and stables right here. This is the outside exercise, the arena area. This is her business plan. Stated it's on 24 acres out there. It can be listed under Bayview Farms. Her maintenance plan, her border requirements, emergency contact and information. This is the beacon map of the property right here, outlined in yellow. 25th Avenue right there comes into the driveway right here. This is a parking area for the trailers and the vehicles out there. This is the outdoor riding arena. The rest is balance of lots and pasture out here for the boarders. Some quick photos of the area. This is just looking north of the driveway down from 25th Avenue. This is just looking down the driveway, nice gated facility. This is just looking north towards Highway 14. This is looking towards the northeast from the driveway, towards the pasture and lots right there. This is looking east down the driveway. This is the pasture to the south and west of the barn and the riding arena. Also right here, this is the gate for access for that. Outside of also up by the barn. This is coming around the corner. The stables area right here where the horses are boarded. This is the parking area for the trailers and the pickups. This is the manure storage area right there, which is hauled out once a month for that. This is just looking to the north. Another pasture right in that area. This is looking towards the west where she made some more lots. Made an alleyway down here and 2 pens on the north and 2 pens on the south. This is just looking from the driveway towards the north pens that she made, all kept up and mowed around there. Just looking towards the north and the dividing fence between the 2 lots. So the applicant is not able to be here this evening as she had a previous appointment with a veterinarian on her facility. We did receive one comment, I'll read that now, from adjoining landowner Mike Barkley. He wanted to note that Ms. Adronowitz's operation on the property has never looked better and she has done a wonderful job. He has no issues with her conditional use request. If there is questions that do arise, we can contact Ms. Adronowitz by phone for her answers if there's any question that the board may have. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Richard. Since she is not here, we'll move to the public hearing portion. Is there anybody in the audience that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that is opposed to this? Seeing and hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing portion and move back to the board for additional comments or questions. Any questions? Seeing and hearing none, Richard, would you read the findings of facts?
Yes, Brookings County Brookings City Joint Jurisdiction, Ryan, did you have anything to add? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask your input on that.
No, as you mentioned in your report, we've reviewed the application and have no objections, no comment beyond your staff report.
Thank you, sorry about that. An application for conditional use permit having been filed with the joint board acting as a board of adjustment, a copy of the application being attached here too, such application being made by Jessica Adronowitz regarding the following real property. Lot M2 of Warrior Commercial Park Edition and Lot M2 of Warrior Commercial Park Second Edition to include vacated portion of the street included in the southwest 1/4 of Section 18, Township 110 North, Range 49 West, Aurora Township, located at 1900 25th Avenue, Brookings, South Dakota. After due notice, a public hearing having been held on the application on the second day of September 2025. Number one, the joint board hereby finding that it is empowered to grant such a conditional use under the following sections of the joint zoning ordinance for the Brookings County and the City of Brookings. Article 3, District Regulations, Chapter 3.04A, Agricultural Land District, Section 3.0402, Conditional Use Permit Number 24, Stables. And further finding that granting of the conditional use will not adversely affect the public interest. Number two, the joint board further finds and certifies that the following specific rules governing the conditional use requests have been complied with. Emergency file and safety plan to be on file. Number three, the joint board further finds that satisfactory provisions and arrangements have been made concerning the following where applicable. A, entrance and exit to the property and proposed structure therein with particular reference to automotive and pedestrian safety, convenience, traffic flow, and control and access in case of fire or catastrophe. Entrance and exit to the property will use existing driveway on 25th Avenue. B, off-street parking and loading areas were required with particular attention to the items in A above with economic, noise, glare, or other effects of the conditional use on adjoining properties and properties generally in the district. No on-street parking, use on-site parking. Utilities and refuge and service areas with reference to locations, availability, and compatibility. Dumpster service for garbage and refuse disposal. D, screening and buffering with reference to type, dimensions, and character. None stated. E, signs, if any, and proposed exterior lighting with reference to glare, traffic safety, economic effect, and compatibility and harmony with properties in the district. 32 square foot sign allowed and any required safety signs. F, required yards and other open spaces. Spraying of all noxious and other weeds before they go to seed, monitoring weed growth and weed control by spraying, mowing, or tilling by permit holder or designated spraying professional sprayer service. Weed control is pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 38-22. G, general compatibility with adjacent properties and other properties in the district. Comprehensive plan is met for the agricultural district. H, roads providing access to the property are adequate to meet the transportation demands of the proposed conditional use. The Board of Adjustment may require the applicant to enter into a written contract with any affected township or other governmental unit regarding the upgrading and continued maintenance of any roads used for conditional use as requested prior to the issuance of a conditional use. 25th Avenue meets the transportation demands of the conditional use. I, any required notifications to law enforcement or fire department. Notifications to Brookings County 911 and Brookings County Emergency Management of any hazardous materials or chemical spills. J, any safety inspections. Any inspections required for building permits. Number 4, the joint board further determines and conditions its conditional use permit upon the following additional special conditions or safeguards. A, best management practices to be used for. Number 1, manure disposal storage area. 2, insect control. 3, grassland management. B, maximum number of horses is 50 boarded horses at any one time. C, any deceased animals to be disposed of within 24 hours. D, host clinics or schooling shows with a maximum number of 20 attendees per event. The Joint Board of Adjustment needs a majority approval of the members. Well, that should be, no, it is majority of the members present to grant a above petitioner a conditional use permit for the above described real property as follows. Conditional use number 24, stable for horses. This conditional use is valid until the applicant discontinues the stable operation, vacates, or sells the property. This conditional use permit is specifically conditioned upon initial and continued compliance with all the requirements and conditions in 3 and 4 above, and upon compliance with all applicable provisions of the joint zoning ordinance for Brookings County and the City of Brookings. If approved, the Brookings County Zoning Director is authorized to issue any required building permits for the construction consistent with the requirements of this conditional use. If this conditional use permit is not used within 3 years of the date granted, it shall be invalid, dated the 2nd day of September 2025.
Are there any additions or corrections to the findings of facts?
Just a question here. So there's no expiration on the conditional use now? Okay.
No, this is until she decides to cease operations or sell the property. She does not have to come back in 3, 5, 10 years to renew it.
Perfect. Mr. Chair, I find that this application meets the requirements of the zoning ordinance as long as the findings of facts are followed. So I concur with the findings of facts.
Thank you. Richard, would you call the vote?
Kelly Vanderwall,
Yes.
Nick Wendell,
Yes.
Kyle Vanderwall,
Aye.
and is it Scott?
Scott.
Scott.
Letty.
Letty. And Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Richard. Next agenda item, adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Vanderwall, second.
Second.
Second by Wendell, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.